Unlike other fat people, I never lie about my weight. I lie about my height. See, I'm just under 300 pounds, but that's normal because I'm 9'1". I have been on every diet there is, even stooping to the lowest limb of the dieting tree, the binging and purging. Didn't take. I think it's because I mastered the binging before the purging. And so I fell behind. The time that I enjoy being this enormous is when I fly on Southwest Airlines. Hear me out. I get on the plane, I take a window seat near the front of the aircraft, and a stranger occupies an aisle seat in the same row. And now there's this middle space between us. And when the final parade of morons who don't know how to print a boarding pass at home saunter onto the airplane, I've got to protect that space. And so that's when I want to look as fat and repulsive as I possibly can. And so I scratch and cough, and I put like half of my belly and one of my tits over into the middle seat. It is difficult. There is no human resources department for fat people to complain to when we are teased. In my regular job, I'm a urologist. In my regular job, God forbid I make fun of someone's race or religion, I can't practice anymore. I know you're not supposed to make fun of women too much. But if I'm having a spa treatment and I'm hungry and I eat the cucumbers from my eyes, they go crazy and I can't complain. And to make matters worse, I'm shopping like 6 years ago for pants in a fat person store in Philadelphia called Loch Ness Clothing. And a little handicapped midget salesman in an electric wheelchair comes scooting up to me. And at the top of his lungs in a full store, he says, "Can I help you find something, big guy?" Big guy? Like, in what universe is that politically correct? No, I'll find it myself, Mr. Little Polio Man. How do you like that? And that was during the dark times, my first marriage. And she would give me the look. The look means, I'm disappointed in you. Don't make fun of the guy with polio. Don't leave the toilet seat up. Don't call my mother a whore. Something. We were married 15 years, and we get our basement remodeled. It takes 11 months. It's a great basement. She leaves and marries the contractor and moves 22 houses up the street, and I keep the basement, an excellent trade. If you don't believe my story, you can check out her website, iscrewthehelp.com. And see it all there. But the hard part about having an ex-spouse 22 houses up the street is that she still treats me like a spouse when I see her, which is always. And she'll say to me, "You know, you'd look better with your hair cut." And I'm thinking, funny, you'd look better with your throat cut. But that's me. So Cruella moves out. And I'm back to dating again, although now I'm dating with a good job. I mean, as a urologist, nobody has ever applauded, as you are, my putting my finger in their ass. But the pay is pretty good, so I'm going on great dates. Great restaurants, great shows. I know that money can't buy you love, but it can buy you sex and companionship, and that adds up to the same thing, pretty much. The hard part for me was not finding a date. It was the intimacy thing, because it had been so long. When is the right time to hold someone's hand, to kiss somebody? You think someone's playing hard to get, and then you are in front of a judge. So I had always lived by the phrase that I had heard: everything is okay as long as there are two consenting adults. What I did not realize is that those two consenting adults have to be you and the girl. It can't be you and your buddy. Like, "Hey, Mike, how about I nail this waitress?" And someone has to teach these things to my kids, because I only have them half the time. I have 2 boys. I wanted an older boy and a younger girl so they could sleep with each other's friends. But I have 2 boys. And I still remember the day that we had to tell them we were splitting up, and we did all the right things. We brought them in the family room and said, we both love you, and we love being your parents, and we're going to parent you together, but Mom and I don't get along so much anymore, and it's better if she's 22 houses up the street and you're here, and you'll be with me half the time and her half the time. And they were so sad, you know, and she left to go do something with Bob the Builder. And I took them out for ice cream, and I said, listen, Mommy doesn't love us anymore. I hope I don't kill myself. I'm so close to my kids that it is difficult for me to punish them, although recently I handed down a world record-setting 6-week grounding punishment of my older son, 4 weeks for smoking pot in a hotel on a high school trip as a senior. And 2 additional weeks was because it was my pot. And they're at the age that everything I do embarrasses them. The 17-year-old I took to a basketball game, and we have front row seats, and we're watching the Sixers versus the Miami Heat. And when you yell at the players, they'll respond to you from the seats. But I'm yelling at LeBron, and he's not saying a word. And my son turns to me and says, Dad, that's not LeBron. And then, because he's all liberal, he has to throw in, you think all black people look alike, and I don't. I think that all black people with beards look alike. The younger son, I embarrassed, and I'm sure you've, I would say a show of hands, but I can't see anybody but the first 2 rows. But you've all done this. You know when you go to a hotel and they don't treat you well, the only way to get even is to pee on the floor? No? Yeah, me neither. Never mind. So I try to take my kids on one exotic vacation every year so they continue to love me more than their mother. And this year we went to South Africa on a 6-day safari, and it was life-changing. 6 days was a little long. The first day, wow, an antelope. The second day, wow, a giraffe and an elephant. The third day, a lion killing a zebra. By the 6th day, it's like, wake me up if a rhinoceros is horn-raping that fat Italian woman. The most amazing non-wildlife thing that happened was we were in a vehicle with a gorgeous 28-year-old Jewish couple that were on their honeymoon. They shared the safari vehicle with us. This woman definitely earned a spot in the Encyclopedia of Beautiful Jewish Women, which, as you know, is really more of a pamphlet. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. And I give her a sugar-free lifesaver, and she chokes on it. I don't mean choking like coughing. She's not moving air. I'm getting ready to give my first Heimlich maneuver since medical school. And then she passes it. But the jackass that lives inside my head, as I'm lining up to do this, is thinking, how ironic if she dies choking on a lifesaver. But all of that is behind me now. All the ex-wife stuff. I'm happily married, just 2 years, and I'm married to a urologist, which means she sees a lot of penis. As did my first wife. But for a different reason. I was initially concerned when she came to live with me that she was anti-Semitic, because when my son had a field trip to the Holocaust Museum in Washington and he ran out to catch the bus, she yelled out after him, "Have fun." So I was concerned. But she has migraines, and I gotta warn anybody who is thinking about being with someone who has migraines, it is the ultimate excuse. You can't have friends over for the Super Bowl, I have a migraine. Keep it down. We can't go to the movies, I have a migraine. I can't have anal sex. Not that anal sex is my thing. It is something I have done only once with my ex-best friend's little sister. But it's something I wouldn't mind every 28 days or so. In any case, she's different than a lot of the others. She didn't want to run around. She didn't want the bells and whistles. And a couple of months ago, I came home. I'm home. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to eat? What, do you want to go to the hockey game? And she said, listen, the kids are away tonight. I just want your time. We never talk. I just want 10 minutes of your attention. I'm making dinner. Let's just talk for 10 minutes. And it was nice. We sat down in the family room, and she told me that her mom was sick and throwing up, and thinking about it made her want to throw up. And the shoes that she bought that fit so well in the dressing room now hurt. And her best friend was adopting a Mexican kid. And I just looked at her and said, how many minutes are left? But sarcasm aside, I have a soulmate who shares my deepest and darkest secrets. And it wasn't a month or two ago that we're in a hotel in Pittsburgh, and the air conditioning didn't work, and the room service was wrong, and the on-demand movies didn't work. And so in the morning, I have to pee on the rug because I'm not normal. And she comes out of the bathroom and sees me, and she says, what the hell are you doing? Pee between the two mattresses. They'll never see where it's coming from. That's my time. Thanks.